So today I definitely have some room to maneuver on the downside break and retest and the upside break and retest. The pre-market high is all the way up here. But we do have a pretty decent resistance level right here. So we'll be using that as to see if it retests off of that to make an entry. And keeping in mind that there's another resistance level up here. See what happens if it reaches up there, if it retests here and reaches up there. If it breaks through here, retests down there, we have all the way down here to reach any kind of resistance. And then as you can see, it's pretty much a straight drop after that. This is on the 5-minute chart. And you know, I take executions on the 2-minute chart. So again, we've got plenty of room. Kind of pretty much the same thing going on with the QQQ. I just had to keep in mind that there is this daily moving average right here. And this other daily moving average close to the pre-market high, which is pretty much just where the market closed yesterday. So, and there will be a gap, pretty large gap today. See, this is good. I want to see it do that, but I really want to see it do that on the pre-market low. That's what I really want to see it on. That's a little bit more of a resistance point. Yeah, if as far as the upside, like again, the opportunity lies above this level, above that level. Resistance, and then going up to that level, the break even level. Keeping that in mind. I mean the fill gap level, keeping that in mind. Downside, breakthrough the pre-market lows, and then bounce. I mean, break off the pre-market lows and then retest all the way down to this level right here as the next potential resistance. So one or the other is what we are currently waiting for with my strategy. So then there is nothing for me to do. And the market seems to be determining which direction it wants to go. Probably this is during the Iran war. So for the past week or however long, the news has been the booster. As soon as some news comes out, some new news comes out, that's when the market decides to pick a direction, a short-term direction at the very least, in which it wants to go in the morning. Because we've already had our drop with this gap here. I'm assuming due to news, so yep. But again, news plays absolutely no factor in whether I take a trade or not, setups, none of that is accounted for in my strategy whatsoever. All I care about is break and retest, high and low. That's all that matters to me. Yeah, this does a retest and fail. This would be a nice trade. This would be a very high opportunity trade for me. I'm ready, ready. So if price leaves without us and takes off, it is what it is. We are disciplined traders. We only take trades when the trade matches our entry rules. So if it doesn't come back and retest this, it is what it is. If it continues to just drop like a rock, I won't have any entry today. I would consider taking trade on a break and retest of this level, but probably not. I really wanted to do the pre-market low retest. And now I need to see it. Now it's at this point, I need to see it resist that. Like clearly, I need to see some wicking going on, some price pulling back. That's what we're looking for now, which is what it's looking like. But I need to see a little bit more than that. That's not good enough. I need to see it like have a volatile. And that is why I needed to see more. If I just sit like that little pullback, that one time it pulled back that we just seen, that's not enough. I need a lot more than that. Because that's all, just it pulling back once on a candle, during the candle, that's not enough. That's one thing I do know, and I have learned over time. Like that's never enough. So that makes it a little bit more messier because it's like, all right, I wouldn't enter here on a break and retest. I wouldn't enter here on a break and retest. The only opportunity that's left for me and my strategy would be on the upside. Like I said, potentially this level, I might, if there's a break and retest, because there's really no resistance after that point, I might. Just depends on what price action does. But yeah, that's a hard ask. I'd much rather it go back to the upside and break and retest that level. That's really the only real opportunity I have now. With this as a close second. That's a heavy pullback right here on this candle. It's a heavy wick right there. It is looking like it reacted to this pre-market, this pre-market low. It kind of looks like it was reacting to that, but it was a little too far away compared to the point where it broke out at and then came back up like a fucking rocket on that candle. Looks a little bit, and kind of went past that point. So again, wouldn't take an entry here. That is not how my strategy works. But here, potentially, yes. Again, I need to see some favorable. I always need to see favorable price action, but more so than normal here, than if it was the pre-market or post or previous day low. And for my current strategy, it doesn't matter if it decides to react to this pre-market low now. It already broke the retest and then came back through it again. I don't care if it reacts to this and bounces off of it. At this point, it's done its thing already. As far as my strategy goes, even if it was to bounce off of this like a retest, it's a little too late. What matters to me for my strategy is the first retest, and as you can clearly see, the first retest, it clearly like broke through that, like it was just nothing. So what kind of, because like I said, it did this, you see this huge wick there, but it was it was past the pre-market, not even close. It went all the way up there, so that was a clear break in my, not a clear break, but it broke through. So as far as my strategy goes, this does not matter anymore. This level, as far as a potential entry point. Yep. So price has to come down here and retest, or all the way up here and retest. That's the only ways. And it has to do it within an hour. After that, I don't enter any trades. 11 o'clock. It is 10:03 right now. Sometimes the best trades are the trades that you decide not to take. So if I don't make a trade today, that's always fine with me, because there was no opportunities as far as my trading strategy goes. So for me, that's a win. When you follow your trading strategy that you've back tested and you know makes money, and you've seen it make money, you know it's a winning strategy. As long as you stick to your trade rules, then on a day like this, where say you don't take a trade at all, you should look at that as a win in your book, because you stuck to your trading rules. That is always priority, sticking to your trading rules. You stick to your trading rules, you are a great trader, period. Even if you have a losing strategy, you're a great trader. You just need a better strategy. But as far as having a winning strategy and you stick to your trading rules, you're a great trader with a great strategy, a winning profitable strategy. You know, then you got it. You won. There's nothing more to it. So if there's no opportunity for me to trade based on my entry rules today, then I won the day as far as I'm concerned. And that's how I believe you should look at it too if you're a trader. If you don't take a trade because you don't see any entry opportunities based on your rules, you won. You didn't lose any money. You might not have gained any money, but you stuck to your trade rules. You know, if anything, you don't take a trade that day, I wouldn't say you even wasted time. What you did do was build the discipline of following your trade rules. You make it more and more of a habit the more you follow your trade rules, day by day by day. So if you don't take a trade, you just built your discipline muscle on that. So yeah, I don't want to see it break, retest, fail, retest. We're looking here for the next level. It's got quite a ways to go. But may be interesting to watch. It may be even integrate into my strategy. I'd have to back test it, obviously, but to start looking to see if maybe during a situation like this, where there's a big gap, you see the gap all the way up there, to see if, okay, if it does this kind of move and it doesn't, and it reverses, it doesn't go anywhere near even halfway towards closing the gap. If later on it reaches that point, it breaks through and then retest that point, retest that point, maybe that could be an entry opportunity for me. Not necessarily to expect it to go all the way to close, but to expect it to maybe at least go up to another significant level, whether that's previous day high low or pre-market high low, such as this one right here, previous day low, or this high right here on the pre-market, because the next one is all the way up there. So that's just a significant level. Be interesting to watch and maybe back test, maybe add to my strategy if I see it works. Price has been doing absolutely nothing. I mean, some people's strategy, they might have made money on this drop right here, but like, it is in no certain terms of any direction as far as I'm concerned. All right, now is the time to see if it retests and fails the retest. I'm watching both of these, since this is already a little ahead of that break. I mean that resistance. I personally enter on candle closes. Helps with the ambiguity. So I am watching. Going for it. For my stop. About right there will be my stop. If it closes beyond past this level, then we are out. Okay, within the next few candles, I really want to see it drop. I don't want to see it continue to hover around this level. I want to see it drop. Yep, just like that. I want to see it have more downward pressure. I don't want to see it hover here. I wanted to see it do that and continue, obviously. But yeah, just want to see it continue. We got the wicks in there. I don't want to see any wicks down here. I just want to see it just go. That shows downward momentum if there aren't too many wicks on this side. We've seen it resist this retest already. I just want to see it drop. The QQQ is well on its way. But we entered on the SPY. I want to see the SPY do that. Which I guess I should say that I entered about right there. Like this, I don't want to see. I want to see it not hover at all. I want to see it with downward pressure. This is not it. Let's see what happens on this level. And again, it needs to close beyond my stop loss. Not on it, not under it. Seems to be reacting to that level, this level right here. I'm out. That is a loss. Sure, I'm out. Yep, I'm out. So after trade report, what is there to learn here? First, we got to make sure that I even took a correct entry. Something like this wasn't necessarily in my trade rules, to be honest. So there is that. My trade rules specify we only do pre-market low and highs and the previous day low and highs. Breaks to fail retest, those are the potential entries, not significant levels like this that happen during the day today. That form during the day today. Like that's not something that I've tested for. That's not something that is written as part of being a part of my strategy. So this again, like even if I won this trade, this wasn't a trade that was in my trading strategy. So I broke my trade rules for this. There's like 5% of me that just wanted to make something happen. So I was like, let's do it. I should have just, if I wanted to see how that was gonna go, I should have just watched. But I definitely shouldn't have entered. That was not part of my trading rule. That's not something that I've ever back tested as part of my trading rules. Nothing. And I also did have a feeling right before I got out that there's a good chance that it'll bounce right here. And that's exactly what happened. But that was just, I shouldn't have entered to begin with. So that's only, this didn't really do anything, this level right here. What happened to do something was this level, it looks like. But as you can see, that's a strong wick right there. It's like it doesn't have the momentum to continue down. Like it looks like it's going to consolidate right here for a little while. Point being, regardless of where it goes from this point on, I shouldn't have made that entry. It wasn't a part of my strategy, specifically entry on a retest of a level that wasn't created today, but it wasn't even a significant level. This was only one swing that wasn't a previous day low. It was just one swing from some days ago that has not seen a reaction since. It's just that one swing. So it wasn't even like it was a significant level. And I made an entry on the retest of that level. So that wasn't really a high probability trade. I shouldn't have taken it. And that wasn't part of my strategy.